All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Certainly the game of the weekend, maybe the game of the year, the battle of the unbeatens as we get underway.
Come on now, let's go.
And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 120! Mike. Please. Great.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Going deep this is caught inside the 15. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Go. Here we go.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 3rd and short.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Cousins now on 2nd down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
All right, now here we go, oh.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On play action, Cousins. Flush to his right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he fires one that's intercepted. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Simeon incomplete on 1st. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
Here we go now. Boom, 90. Boom.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And Robinson with a big catch. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Cook following the penalty. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Bring the energy.
Play action now. Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey, flipper, flipper!
Cousins to throw it. Dancing to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on 1st down. Throw left side taken in by Miller. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. This is Ajayi. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now it's Ajayi. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Come on now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go, go.
They'll run with a rookie. It's Boston Scott. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw, it's Wentz. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Go, go. 180! 82, 82!
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball. I got it.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Go, go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Hang in there now, hang in there now. Please, please. Black, come on.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On 2nd down, Scott. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
81, 81. Touch, 280. Touch.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
81, 81.
Wentz going to throw. Got him in. Open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Play fake. Cousins. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
Wide.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A Vikings 1st down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
Wide.
Hey. 4 down.
Wide.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And this is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need to get to the football and make it happen, and that he does.
Here's a handoff to a Giant to begin the drive. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. Here's a Giant. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Grade 15. Yeah. What's on?
Here's Wentz to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Eagles on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. They run with Ajayi. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
4 down, 4 down.
Listen.
Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4.
Listen.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Alert flare. Alert.
Gold.
Flare.
What's your son?
Watch the twitch.
Listen.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Check 26, check 26.
Listen.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott from the right hash. This from 33. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Two. Left.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Here we go. Hot.
Final play of the half. Cousins throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Returnable for Thomas. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On second down, here's Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Here we go. Blue 80! Great 15, great 15! Liz. Ram. Hey, Rip 5-2, hot here.
Throwing is Wentz. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now a run with Cook. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Rhino! 2!
Second down, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep. This is caught inside the 15. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 43 yards.
Nice movement there by Carson Wentz outside of the pocket. Completes another pass. Help me out here, partner. He's not sneaky athletic. He is athletic. How many times do I have to say it?
Yeah, you've been making that declaration for a while, and at 6'5", he ran a 40 of 4.77, so not only big, but he can move.
That's a good time for a quarterback. He and Andrew Luck, similar physiques, similar athletic ability. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Liz 5-2, Liz 5-2. There we go, back man. 180! Liz.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Braxton Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins, and he fires one incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Cousins now on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Everyone's got 4.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Check. 53.
Black, black.
53.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off with great anticipation. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
82.
Throwing now is Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A very solid gain of 27. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on 3rd?
Here we go. 80.
Hey, I need one over here. I need one.
82.
Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Wentz to throw again. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
Sherrills to return it. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around.
Hey, 4 down.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Hey, flipper.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And Robinson with a big catch. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Cousins finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 2nd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
They'll throw again. Cousins. Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Corey Graham. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Let's 5-2.
They'll run with Scott, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Great. Go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Wentz going to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready?
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bailey got the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. Bailey now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Here's Scott, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Here we go. Waiting.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Listen.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, T.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
You got three down.
They go again with Scott. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
120.
Mike's 40. Mike's 40. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
On play action, it's Wentz. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, you know, in this situation, they're making the adjustment to be more aggressive. You got to wrap that football up.
Yeah, it always amazes me that people don't understand that well because you're going to come in as a defense. The first guy makes the tackle, you try and stand up the ball carrier, and here come the rest of the guys trying to knock the ball out.
Handoff comes to Cook, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
They'll look to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Hey, flipper!
He's back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Everyone's got 4 down.
He'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Yellow, yellow, reach in there, yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow.
Right over there, right over there.
Pace it.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Defensively now, one more play to stop. What are they looking for?
You want to take away their number 1 running option that you've scouted and take away their number 1 receiver and see if someone else can beat you.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
4 down, 4 down.
Where's the hard? Hey, flipper, flipper. Wide, wide.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Watch the pass.
Here we go.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
The hard. 180. Liz 50.
Take his sweeping.
Pace it.
Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike.
Where's the hard?
I got you.
Two.
58, boys. 58, Mike.
One last shot now for Cousins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And that is going to seal this victory